I think the government's fiscal package is very similar to what was carried out after the first wave. And I think the fiscal approach has been twofold. In relief, it has been to put, free grain in the hands of people. And so there's a program to kind of parcel out free grain all the way till November. And the second approach has been through the banking system using a variety of credit guarantees. I guess this needs to be seen in the context that the fiscal is walking a delicate balancing act. On the one hand, as you laid out, the second wave clearly increases the need for some support, fiscal support. But on the other hand, we're already at a situation where the deficit's quite elevated. Debt to GDP is going to be close to 90%. So there are some constraints that are going to naturally emerge on the fiscal. I think what will be really important for the rest of the year, from the standpoint of providing help to the economy, is both the central budget and the state budgets had planned a lot of capital expenditure this year. And I think that's exactly the right approach. I'm not sure India can necessarily rely on stronger consumption growth or stronger investment growth coming out of the second wave, because there has been a fair amount of scarring to household balance sheets at the bottom of the pyramid. Utilization rates for manufacturing are not at levels that would invite high investment. So the government spending, and in particular public investment and capital expenditure, will have to be key to the revival in the coming months. Now, that's already part of the central government's budget and the state government's budget. So therefore, as important as these relief measures are, what's equally important is in the next 6 months of this year, that those capital expenditure budgets get spent to jumpstart growth.
Sajjid, we were talking earlier on with Dan Jurgen of IHS Markit about the impact of what's going on with OPEC Plus and the potential, if there is a continued impasse, for a spike of oil prices, God forbid, to maybe $100 a barrel. Given that India imports about 85% of its oil needs, how damaging to the economic recovery would a further spike in prices be?
Well, this is clearly going to be a very big challenge for India. We're a large importer of oil. And so a doubling of oil prices creates a meaningful terms of trade headwind for the economy. This will, affect India on all dimensions. It kind of squeezes fiscal space. It will impact the current account deficit. It will impinge on, corporate margins and purchasing power for households. So it really has an impact across the board. The good news is India's macro fundamentals are much better and much stronger than we saw in 2011-12, in the sense that the current account is, last year was in surplus. This year will be in a small deficit. The central bank is sitting on $600 billion of reserves. So there's no real concern from a macroeconomic stability perspective. But what higher oil prices does is just kind of, becomes a growth headwind, because a negative terms of trade shock will hurt growth through the channels I mentioned. So we have to hope that, this is a temporary phenomenon, and all the more bank on the other drivers of demand that I spoke about, government spending and exports kicking in. The one piece of good news here is, it depends what's driving oil. If oil is picking up because of higher global demand, at least there'll be some offset here, because India's exports will also do well in tandem. So those current account pressures to some extent get nullified.